Welcome to Fortyborn, the limited Lorcana podcast. We're a gaming veteran
and a gaming novice.
Explore all things Lorcana. With a focus on limited formats, we cover set reviews, strategy guides, and stuff that nobody asked for.
Let's get decked.
Cool. Festive.
Yeah, I feel like that should be a verb people use.
Decked?
Yeah, like, oh, we're getting decked this weekend.
Doesn't that mean you're getting punched?
Oh.
Like if somebody gets decked.
Yeah. That sounds right. Maybe we should take it back and use it like, reclaim it.
Like, can you maybe make it Disney appropriate? No
nope.
violence. Let's get challenged.
There you go.
All right. So a lot of you may be listening because you're interested in the giveaway.
Oh, the giveaway.
Yeah. I made a joke a couple episodes ago about doing a giveaway with something that I did not have.
You manifested it.
I did, because literally the next day I played in a tournament and I got a D100.
There we go.
Yeah.
Boom.
So shout out to our local game shop for, well, I didn't win it. I won the raffle.
There you go.
So I got it, but maybe I didn't earn it.
Yeah, you didn't earn it. It just came about it.
All right. Either way, we have a D100 that we are giving away.
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 ways to enter.
Yep.
And we'll share those later in the show.
Mm-hmm.
We'll also share them on Twitter/X. So I think we'll run it for a week. And so the following week, we'll announce the winner.
Yeah, that sounds great.
But we're about to record episodes back to back. So I'll just have to sort of splice the announcement into the next episode.
Oh, right. Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Sick. Also, we have a sponsor.
We do.
Kind of.
Sorta.
Well, a good friend of ours got us a microphone.
Yep.
Fan of the pod.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Jason.
Yeah.
Jason and Celeste, they're getting married in a week. So congratulations to them.
Congrats, and congrats to us. Really.
Yeah.
Thanks to them.
Yeah. Normally when people get married, you get them a gift.
They got one for us.
Yeah. And I'm okay with this arrangement.
Yeah, it's great. So when we sound good, they're the reason why.
Yes. By sounding good, shouts out to the Fitzpatricks for that. So congratulations, Jason and Celeste. But so I'd say it is kind of like a sponsorship, but Jason has also just given me so many things over the years that I've known him, like a nice leather jacket, and I can't think of anything
He's
else.
just kind of been sponsoring your well-being your whole life.
Yeah, for sure. Very generous guy.
Yeah. Jason's the best.
Jason is the best. And today, what are we talking about?
We're talking about locations.
Yeah, we are.
Mm-hmm.
As is every other podcast coming out this week.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, we knew locations were coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did. Definitely did. I for sure did.
Well, I just mean because of the leaks that happened before Rise of the Floodborn even came out.
Yeah.
But we're not supposed to talk about those.
No.
So we're not talking about those. But we now have official spoilers for the new set, Into the Inklands.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Into the Inklands.
What do you think of that name?
It's fine.
I feel like they kind of phoned it in.
Well, what would you have liked for them to call it?
Well, I hadn't given it much thought, but...
Oh, okay. So just complaining in their general direction?
Pretty much.
Dude, you are becoming a TCG player more and more every day.
I'm not. Look at me.
Just complain into the ether and offer no constructive feedback.
No, none whatsoever.
I'm fine with End of the Inklands. I get that they're trying to set up like the lore behind the game.
Yeah.
But I'm just kind of waiting for all of that to come out, because so far for me the story doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
No. And
I don't really care, because like I like the stories of the cards themselves.
Yes.
And I'm really interested to see what the lore is. Like what are Illumineers and what are the Inklands? I'm cool with all that.
Yeah.
But I just want someone smarter than me to explain it to me on YouTube.
Yeah.
And we're not there yet.
No, we're not there yet.
But we got Pirate Piglet, so that's pretty sick.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah. It's as cool as you think it would be.
Nice.
But we're talking about locations. And before we dive into that, normally we avoid talking about spoilers because we're a limited focus podcast. Limited sets typically encompass one set. Limited events typically use packs from one set. So if you're doing a Rise of the Floodborn draft, it's 4 Rise of the Rise of the Floodborn packs.
Yeah, I gotcha.
You typically don't mix sets.
The different, yeah.
Yeah. So usually when you're drafting or when you're doing sealed, all of the cards are from the same set. And so you can analyze the cards within that framework.
Right.
Like some card that's really good in one set might not be good in another set.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like a card that cares about pirate synergies in a set without a lot of pirates, not going to be great.
Bunk.
It might be good in constructed later, but in limited, it's sort of a dud.
Mm-hmm.
So in this situation, we feel comfortable talking about locations because we're going to talk about the Forbidden Mountain, which is the first location that was released, but we're also going to step back and talk about locations in general.
Right.
You tracking?
I am tracking, yes.
Cool. All right. Well...
Wait, do I have a question?
Okay.
Did we know locations were going to be part of the game? Like, did we think that was going to happen from the onset of the game?
Did officially no, but I think a lot of people made assumptions just because
of the type of game it was.
Yeah, just because it's Disney and locations are really important in Ravensburger's other Disney game.
Got it. Okay.
Villainous.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of assuming that they would come eventually, but we didn't really know exactly what they would look like.
Cool. Okay.
So I'm excited that they're here.
Yeah.
I think it'll be cool.
Yeah, maybe. Just kidding. It'll be cool. Everyone likes them, right?
People seem excited about it.
Yeah.
I mean, at the very least, it's cool to see locations in the game.
For sure. The idea of locations.
Yeah, the theory
is
of
cool.
locations. We'll see how much impact they have on constructed and limited.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So why are we talking about locations when we typically avoid spoilers? Number one, I want to.
Yep.
I think they're cool. And number two, we're going to go over them in general as a mechanic. This new card type, how does it fit into limited?
Right.
We'll talk about constructed as well, but we're going to frame most of it through the lens of limited at the end.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, you ready to see our first location?
So ready.
Cool.
Hit me with that Forbidden Mountain.
So, right now I have Forbidden Mountain up on the screen.
Yep.
The screen that you all cannot see.
Right.
When Jason and Celeste have their 1 year anniversary, they're going to buy us camera equipment.
No.
2 year anniversary, we're getting a spotlight so we can have a good lighting.
It's going to be amazing. I hope their marriage lasts forever.
I hope their marriage flourishes as long as this, well, significantly longer than this podcast does. Sorry. But I hope that we grow with them. So Forbidden Mountain, the card looks sideways, right?
Yeah, definitely is sideways.
So the top left, well,
Top right.
It costs two. It costs 2 ink to play.
Yeah.
Its card type is location. Its name is Forbidden Mountain. And then I guess subname is Maleficent's Castle. And then this number here in this logo, so the 1 is if you have an image of the card.
Bottom left-ish.
The bottom left-ish. 1, that's how much it costs to move a character to the location.
Okay.
And then 6 is willpower. We've seen that symbol before.
Yeah.
So it takes 6 points of damage to destroy this location.
Shout out to Jimmy Lowe, the artist, right?
Yeah, I like the art.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I do. I understand the orientation of the 2, the ink price, but it's also kind of funny when nothing else is oriented that way. Like, why not just... I know it'll be in your hand like that, I guess.
Vertically?
Yeah.
Well, hang on, before I answer that question, that lore symbol, I know it looks different, but it is just a lore symbol.
Okay.
You gain that lore at the start of your turn.
Every time.
If this is in play, you gain that lore.
Cool.
It doesn't matter if you have a card there. It doesn't matter how many willpower it has. If it's in play,
You get the lore.
you get the lore at the start of your turn.
Nice.
Regarding the orientation, first of all, I like it because I like when games play with card layouts to signify different types of cards. Like, it's very
that's
clear.
nice.
But it is going to be very obvious when someone sort of just turns their hand sideways when they're just getting used to the set and being like, okay, they have some location.
You just got to do it with your whole hand every time.
Yeah,
every time, pick up the hand and
Exactly.
turn both ways.
Or you better get good at reading sideways. But this is because it stays horizontal. When it goes in play, it stays horizontal the whole time.
Yeah.
It doesn't ever ready.
Right.
And it also helps you as a player know that it can always be attacked. So you can't protect locations.
Right.
So the reason that it's this way is, 1, I think, to provide more width for art. Like, a location maybe, instead of focusing on one specific character, it's like wide to show a landscape. And then it also helps your opponent know that they can attack it at
Yeah.
all times because
Yeah.
it's basically defenseless. There's no way to protect them.
Right.
That we know of. Now, maybe there will be a keyword called like defender or something that if this card is at a location, they can't attack that location or whatever.
Yeah.
But we don't know anything about that
For
yet.
now, yeah.
So you play this, and then you can pay 1 to move a character to it.
Okay.
Once you move a character to it, you cannot move a character out of it unless you're moving it to a different location.
Got it.
So if I pay 1 to move a character here, I can't pay I can't pay a cost and move it away unless I have a different location to move it to.
To then pay and move it to that other location.
Yeah, so if I have 2 Forbidden Mountains in play, I could pay 1 and move it back and forth.
What is the point of having a character at a location?
That's a good question. This one, there's no reason.
Okay.
But we have cards like Peter Pan that was shared. He says once per turn, when he moves to a location, he gains that location's lore value.
Oh, so that would be helpful.
Yeah, so Peter Pan, it sort of mechanically makes sense. As he's moving around to different locations, he can gain the lore of that
location. Okay.
So that's sort of the benefit is there will probably be locations, if not in this set, in the future, that's like give you a benefit when a character moves to that location, or the benefit increases as you have more characters at that location.
Yeah,
like maybe it costs 5 to move a character there, but at your upkeep you gain 1 lore per character that's at a location.
Right.
Stuff like that. So that's one thing I'm excited about with locations is they have a lot of flexibility. So yeah, what do you think about locations so far? You just saw your first one.
I just saw my first one. I will be honest, when I heard about locations, I thought lame. And that's because it just felt like the game's good. Like it's a good game. And it just felt like let's complicate it with these things that I didn't know if there was added benefit other than I do think it's cool to like see the Disney locations, like see what they are. I do think I guess it just kind of depends what they are and how they are played. Like if they become a big part of the game or if it's just like,
Yeah.
So I guess I'm interested.
Yeah.
I'm warming up
Yeah.
to the idea.
That makes sense.
Uh-huh.
I know that when a new card type comes out, it's sort of hard to get your mind around it.
Yeah.
You got to play with it a few times.
Yeah.
So we're going to sit here and, talk about it theoretically. And then I'm sure, when this comes out in February of next year, by March or April, we'll have a much better understanding of how powerful locations are.
Yeah. Are these not coming out till February? The actual locations?
Yeah.
That's the into the Inklands.
Yes.
Into the Inklands. Inklands.
Into the Inklands.
Inklands. Yeah.
Get him, Discord. Don't roast me this time.
That's not a word anyone knows, okay? It's a made-up word, so it's okay.
So I think I hit all the big rules for locations.
Yeah, we're done. Let's wrap it up.
You can challenge a location then like the next turn that it's played. So if I play a location on my turn, on your turn you can just challenge it immediately. So I might not even get the benefit.
Oh,
so if I play it on my turn and then you just kill it on your next turn, then I don't get the benefit.
You don't get that passive lore. So the like that one, the Forbidden Mountain, for example. Like let's say I have that out. How big a priority is it for you to kill that? Do you care?
Well, it depends. We'll get into that.
Right, okay.
That's like the crux of what we're talking about.
Okay.
In terms of the theory behind it.
Yeah.
But probably.
Okay.
So we've talked a little bit about how locations work. There's more info on like some like minor details, but just in general, that's the main bulk of the rules. So you can deal damage to them. You cannot heal them unless a card says you can heal them. And direct damage, like Smash, doesn't work on locations. If you want to do direct damage to a location, it has to specify that it can deal damage to a location. Or it can say deal damage to a character or a location.
Okay.
You tracking?
Yeah.
Cool. So what's helpful when a new thing comes out is to try to relate it to something that we already understand. So in this situation, when a new card type comes out, locations, it's helpful to try to orient our brains and think about it in the framework that we already have. So we have items, we have actions, and we have characters. It's most similar to me to a character with 0 strength. So if we think of a location as a character with 0 strength, it gives us a small benefit each turn. It's very vulnerable because it can't be defended, and it doesn't have it does no damage when it's challenged.
Back. Yeah,
exactly. It has no defensive capabilities because it can't challenge your opponent's characters. Defensive meaning I can't use this to take out my opponent's characters.
Right.
Because that sounds offensive in Lorcana, but it's actually defensive. And then it cannot be targeted by direct damage or healing unless the card specifies that it can target locations.
Got it.
So it's a character with 0 strength and a few caveats.
Okay.
You tracking a little bit more?
Yeah, that helps.
So the strength of the location is going to depend on a few factors. So you asked, should I destroy that card? Well, it depends. So there's 4 main things that go into the value of a location or its effectiveness. The cost to play, like how much does it cost to get the card on the board?
Yeah.
The cost to move a character to that location, the willpower of that location, and the location's ability.
Right.
So in Forbidden Mountain, the ability is you just gain 1 lore.
1 lore.
So is the Forbidden Mountain good? Well, imagine a 2 ink 061. I think I would play that.
Yeah.
Like in an aggressive deck, I would definitely play that.
Yeah.
Like in Constructed, my current list is a Amber Amethyst, like hyper aggro list. I'd probably play a couple of these because you're gonna like, if they're taking this out, they're not taking out my other small creatures.
Right, and it takes a decent amount to take this out.
If you play this on turn 2, they're gonna have to hit it with at least 2 things.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get at least 1.
Yeah.
Probably 2, maybe 3.
Lore.
And if they're hitting this, then they're not hitting other things.
Hitting your other characters.
And when they hit this, they're leaving their characters exposed.
True, but you probably you might have 1 character out, right?
Yeah.
But by turn 3,
it might not matter.
Yeah.
But so is the Forbidden Mountain good? I don't know. Is a 2 ink 061 good? In an aggressive deck, yes. But in an average deck, I don't know. It's probably like a C- or so.
Yeah.
Slightly below average. I would rather have something with some strength, but the willpower is the most important stat. The willpower is more important than the strength.
Right.
So it makes sense that the Forbidden Mountain has 6 willpower. I like it.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It looks nice too.
It's a common location.
Right.
Now I'm interested to see what like a legendary location would look like.
Ooh, yeah. And how do they decide what's legendary?
How much money they can make off of it? No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just probably by how strong it is. But we know that Motunui, the island from Moana, is going to be a location, and the Jolly Roger from Peter Pan is going to be a location.
The Jolly Roger.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So Motunui, I mean, this is just me guessing. Motunui's probably going to have something to do with healing because a lot of Moana cards are related to healing.
Okay.
So maybe like at the start of your turn, heal a character, remove 2 damage from a character.
Yeah.
Or when a character moves to this location, remove 1 damage from that character.
Okay.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah. Yep.
And then the Jolly Roger, I feel a little bit more confident about this. It's probably going to have something to do with direct damage.
For sure.
Because Fire the Cannons is the cannons from
Jolly Roger.
The Jolly Roger.
That makes sense.
And so like if the Jolly Roger allows you to deal 2 damage each turn, like either at the start of your turn or when you move a character there, repeatable direct damage is extremely strong. So depending on the cost, that could be a really good location.
Yeah.
Right. So you can see how they might start playing in this space.
Yeah, and it will be cool if they're able to, with all locations, make their abilities really relevant to what they actually are in the movies and the stories.
Yeah, for sure. I think that there's a lot of room for creativity with locations. And I think in this first set, in Limited, I mean in Constructed as well, but in Limited, if there's a common location in every color, I think that it'll be really helpful to have a good understanding on how these work.
Yeah.
And just thinking them about 0x characters is going to be helpful.
Yeah.
It's going to help you orient your mind accordingly.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And should I pick this up and put it in my deck? Or if my opponent has it on the board, should I take it out? Okay.
Yeah.
Any thoughts so far before we...
Maybe I'm coming around, man. Maybe locations are cool.
Yeah. Maybe locations are cool. Hot take. So when you talk about the giveaway?
Yeah, let's talk about the giveaway.
So we're giving away a D100.
Which is amazing.
We are only shipping to the continental U.S.
Bummer. Sorry, fans.
Yeah. Maybe in the future we can get around that. I don't know why, but I think that maybe there's like legal implications.
Oh.
I don't know. I'm just doing what I've seen other people do online. But maybe people are just don't want to spend that money for shipping.
That was my guess. I was like, oh, maybe it just costs a lot. It can't be a legal thing.
Well, sometimes people are like, this giveaway, everyone in the U.S. except for people in Montana or whatever.
Yeah.
And
I see what you're saying.
Is that a tax thing, or do they just not like people in Montana?
I don't know.
All right, here's what we'll do. Everyone outside of Alabama can specifically Tuscaloosa. If you live in Tuscaloosa, don't even listen to this podcast.
You're exempt from you can't win the giveaway.
So the giveaway, there's 2 ways to enter. One, Twitter. You need to follow us on Twitter.
X.
And then you need to quote our giveaway tweet and tell us which of the 7 dwarves is the best.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's open to interpretation. We won't judge you on your answer.
Yeah.
But which of the 7 dwarves is the best?
I love that.
So I'll tweet, or we'll tweet a tweet on Tuesday morning when this is released. For our early listeners, particularly whoever was listening at 6 a.m. and DM'd me to let me know that I only uploaded half the podcast.
Shouts out to them.
Yeah, shouts out to them. So look for that tweet. You're going to quote it, and you're going to tell us which of the 7 dwarves is the best.
Yep.
That's one way to enter.
Mm-hmm.
Another way to enter, and you can do both, it'll count as 2 entries,
yeah,
is to leave us a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts.
Yes.
So I wish that I could extend this to more platforms, but like most of our listeners are on Apple Podcasts, and Spotify is our next largest chunk, but there's no way to see who left a rating or a review,
yeah.
So we wouldn't know how to contact you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you would like to give us a review on Spotify, go ahead.
Yeah, maybe they could just send us a screenshot or something. No.
You can do that. I don't really want to deal with parsing through a bunch of
You're right.
screenshots. So we're gonna do 2 ways to enter.
2 ways. 1,
leave a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts.
Yep.
Now, not just a rating, because if you just put in like 5 stars, we can't see your
that
username.
either. Yeah.
You have to leave a review as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you can write something really nice about us. I have no room in my life right now for any type of negative feedback. So if there is any, I will divert that towards Taylor.
Yeah. I'll take it. I'm doing okay.
Emotionally, I can only accept positive feedback through the rest of 2023.
Don't worry. It's only a few weeks, guys.
I will open the doors on negative feedback in 2024. And then, yeah.
Those are 2 ways.
And then 1 week later, we'll announce the winner.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll ship it to you. We'll get in touch with you through Discord or email. You're going to have to prove who you are. Just give us like your social security number, 60 numbers of your credit card.
Just like easy, simple stuff.
Yeah, just simple.
Nothing wild.
Yeah, just basic stuff like that. You want to get back to the show?
Let's get back to the show. I'm excited about the giveaway. I'm glad we're doing that. Hopefully you're all excited about the giveaway. I can't wait to see the dwarfs. I've been wanting to do a dwarf ranking episode for weeks, but Jay keeps putting the kibosh on it.
Well, maybe we can do that at the beginning of 2023.
Perfect. I got my list already.
We're gonna take off the week of Christmas.
Yeah.
I probably should have. We'll say that next episode as well.
Yeah.
The week of Christmas. It's not that we're gonna be busy. We just don't want to record.
Yeah, we're super free. Just don't want to do it.
No, we have that week. We'll maybe record something for January 2nd, but we'll see.
Yeah. It's
cool.
Busy.
Back into it.
Back to the episode. Back to locations.
Yeah. So
come through.
How are locations going to impact Lorcana? Like the actual gameplay. In particular in Limited.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get on my soapbox. Well, that's not a soapbox. I'm just going to ramble for a while, Taylor. Feel free to chime in.
Definitely.
With color commentary and or questions at any time.
Okay. Tell me about locations, Jake.
Yeah, so this is all kind of theoretical, but I think my gut feeling is that locations will improve the overall complexity and available synergy in Limited.
Yeah, that all for sure. In a good way?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
So if we think of our characters on the board as a resource, we now have a new way to spend that resource on each turn. We can quest, challenge a character, or challenge a location.
Okay.
With each of our characters.
Yeah.
So if I have an owl on the board, I can either quest, I can challenge one of my opponent's characters, or I can challenge one of my opponent's locations.
Do you think this is going to increase game time? Or do you think they're going to be quicker games?
I think when the set's new, yes. But I think after a couple of
Once
weeks
people
of
get used to it,
playing, it'll be fine.
Okay, it'll be like the same.
Because it's just like challenging a character.
Yeah.
It's not really that different.
Right, and they're still gaining lore some of the locations.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So games might go faster now because it's another way to gain lore.
Yeah.
I mean, it really depends, but
Somebody knows at Ravensburger.
Yeah, if Red Purple Control keeps dominating the meta and constructed like it has been,
yeah,
then we're gonna have a problem, no matter what they print in the locations.
Right.
But I'm not gonna. We're not a constructed podcast.
No.
Don't let me. Don't let me wade into those dark waters. No. So there's 3 things I can do on my turn now with a character. I can quest, I can challenge a character, or I can challenge a location.
Correct.
Questing progresses my win condition. It's the easiest to understand.
Yeah.
I turn it sideways, I gain the lore.
You gain lore.
Cool. Challenging a character is a lot more complicated because challenging is an exchange, right?
Yeah.
If we think of our characters as a resource, when I challenge your character, I'm spending 2 things. I spend my character's health, and I spend the lore that they would have gained if I had quested with them.
Mm-hmm.
By challenging with my owl, I'm basically sacrificing 1 lore.
The sacrificial owl.
Yes. We're waiting on that Floodborn. So what do I gain in exchange for my character's health and the lore that they would have gained? I slow down your progress towards your win condition.
Right.
Right? So that's like the core of Lorcana.
Mm-hmm.
That's the core tension to me.
Back to the basics.
Questing, challenging.
Yeah.
Challenging, the way that you win games is by accurately identifying the best value exchanges from turn to turn.
Wow, it all sounds more complicated when you...
It does, and I think it is the most complicated part of the game to me. Mm-hmm. And this is a really simplified explanation. I think we'll do one in the future about this, like challenging versus questing.
Right.
But I think it's helpful for us to consider this before we start talking about locations.
Sure.
So challenging a location, which is the third option, is another opportunity for one of these value exchanges.
Yep.
It's another opportunity for me to gain value over my opponent. Now I'm not spending my character's health. I'm only spending my own tempo. So by tempo, I mean by challenging your location, I'm not questing, and I'm not challenging your characters. Mm-hmm. I'm spending the lore that character would have earned in exchange for damaging, possibly banishing your character. Or, sorry, your location.
Yeah.
So what I have to ask myself is it worth not questing with this character just to remove your location's benefit from the board?
Right.
There's obviously more to that because it's not just about questing. I'm also not challenging my opponent's characters.
Right. So they're not, they're still going to go do what they're going to do.
So you see how it's already increased the complexity a bit. Mm-hmm. When I have another option, even sometimes it's going to be very obvious. Sometimes it's very clear that I need to destroy that location more than I need to banish my opponent's characters. Mm-hmm. Sometimes my opponent won't have characters. Sometimes my opponent won't have locations. Yeah. But abstractly, the thing I'm trying to say is that I think locations will increase the complexity of Lorcana in a not complicated way.
Okay.
So we're not getting a huge overhead of rules. We're not getting this super complicated concept.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
It's very basic.
Yeah.
But it increases the central tension of the game.
On the surface, it's really not a lot of changes in what you need to learn about playing the game. But now you do have more decisions to make. And that part is the increased complexity.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So that's my pitch in terms of I think that locations are a good thing for the game. I don't think anyone's saying, well, I did see one person that was really worked up on Reddit that said that they were quitting Lorcana over this.
Nice. I love that energy. I love it.
They said, "You're on set 3 and you're already breaking game mechanics? I'm done with this game. Ravensburger doesn't know what they're doing." And I have a feeling that if they didn't release locations with that set, that same account would be like, "This game is so stale. This game is so stagnant. I'm done."
I love that energy though, man. Just something gets introduced and you're like, I'm out. I'm just the ability to just cut ties, you know?
Change? Not for
Not
me.
for me.
Well, do you have any questions about locations and challenging and questing?
I don't think so. the more we talk about them now, I want them all. I want to see all the locations. Give me
Heck
them.
yeah.
Because now I just want to know, like, what are the options? What things are we going to be able to do with them? What are they going to do? I don't know.
For sure. I think regarding limited, I think that locations will see more play in limited than they do in constructed.
Oh, really?
Meaning I think that they'll have more impact in limited than they do in constructed.
That's exciting.
Because we've seen a purple common location.
Yeah.
That implies that there's going to be at least a common location in each color.
Which makes sense.
I don't know if that's true, but that's the implication.
There should be, right?
There might be some uncommons, some rares, whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't think that typically commons aren't seeing a whole lot of play in constructed. They make up most of our decks in limited, but they don't make up most of your decks in constructed.
Right.
So the bar for entry for making making the cut in my 40 card limited deck, it's a lot lower.
Yeah.
So I think that you will see more of these locations interplay in limited than you will in constructed. Now there might be some just absolutely broken locations that will see play in constructed, but I guess what I mean is in an average game you will see a wider breadth of locations interplay, because even mediocre locations might be good enough to make it into your limited deck.
Yeah. That's cool. I think that's exciting for us.
It is exciting for us because it's a way to increase the complexity of limited formats.
Yeah.
And again, when I say complexity, I hope I'm not beating a dead bush here, but
Oh, you are.
when I say complexity, I don't mean that the size of the rulebook has doubled. I just mean on your turn, it's another thing to keep in mind.
Another thing to think about.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the TLDR, the summary. When evaluating locations, think of them as characters with 0 strength who must remain exerted.
Nice.
Regarding the implications for Lorcana, the core tension of the game is questing versus challenging.
Okay.
So we think that's the most interesting and complicated part of the game. It has the most strategic depth, and we think that locations are a net good for Lorcana because it adds another layer to that equation without significant overhead and rules.
Yeah. Man, I don't like to change my mind, but you're just doing it here.
Heck yeah.
Just wow.
Well, you are now maybe sold on at least trying out locations.
Yeah.
Now, normally, if we played this game, if we played a draft of this and you saw the card, I think that you would just immediately flip it over and put it in your Inkwell.
So true.
I still don't know if I've seen you cast a song.
Dude, I hate songs.
He sees the word song and he's just boom,
like, nope.
ink.
I'm like, if it takes me more than a few seconds to understand, I'm like, nah, get that out of here.
What locations do you want to see?
We're
not doing pack one, pick one.
Yeah,
this is our fun thing for today.
The one that I really want to see is Pizza Planet from Toy Story, because I just feel like when I watched that as a kid, it just seemed like the coolest place on earth. Like, stuck out to me. I was just like, that has to exist in real life. The fact that nobody made a Pizza Planet after that in just our real lives is shocking.
Hey, 2024, Jason and Celeste, we have an investment opportunity to bring to you.
It's going to be a wild success. Wouldn't people go to that? Maybe it does exist.
CC's?
CC's, what a sad version.
It's like Pizza Planet, but stickier.
It's like Pizza Planet if it was sad.
Oh, you mean like if it was just real life?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably true.
So
that's what I want to see.
I would like to see Castle Wyvern and the Eyrie building from Gargoyles.
Oh, what do you know? Gargoyles again. This dude is Gargoyles, man. Just can't let it go.
Well, you know, I got one flavor. I'm sticking to it until it happens.
True, though. That'd be sick.
I also think it would be cool to see location types in the future.
Go on.
Like, you know how the characters have like subtypes, like villain, princess.
Oh, yeah.
So like a lair, a base, a castle, and then they have different effects.
Based on what they are. Yeah, that's nice. I
like
that.
Synergies between like lairs and villains, or between princesses and castles.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That'd be really cool. I want to hear what listeners want, what locations. I bet there's so many I'm not thinking of that are cool.
Yeah, hop in the Discord. We have a somewhat active Discord.
Yeah.
It's a good group. Like we were just talking earlier about how pleasant everyone's been. We haven't had to add any new rules. We have one rule in the Discord, which is don't be a jerk.
Yeah.
And we haven't had to expand on that rule.
No, it's been great.
We've had to DM some people. But we haven't had to ban anyone.
Remember the rule.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
And sometimes we're just DMing each other. Like,
yeah.
Hey, do you remember the one rule? I like that I think that the whole Discord just collectively writes you off. Anytime you say anything, they just reply with
it's a hot dog reaction. I just get a hot dog reaction now. I didn't even know this was possible. I could say anything and it's just, oh, hot dog.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, I think that's a good episode.
Yeah. We like to end by telling you it's good. That was a good one. That was a good one, guys. Enjoy. You're welcome.
Someone said in our Discord that our last episode was the best one. Episode 20.
That was such a nice post.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Got me through an entire day.
Yeah.
If
you ever want to compliment us, we're not going to turn it down.
We're clearly over here just starving for positive feedback.
Yeah, we'll take compliments. Preferably but with 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts. That's how that's how you enter the giveaway. But if you just want to compliment us in general, Discord's where it's at. You can find a link in the show notes. It's a great place. We talk about different picks. We talk about strategy. We talk about Constructed. I just sort of watch that channel. I don't really participate. But shows we're watching, people share their pack one, pick ones.
Yeah, it's fun.
And we'd love for you to share what locations you want to see.
That'd be really cool. Yeah, tweet us or put it in the Discord and share some cool locations.
Yeah, X us.
X us.
Yeah.
Is that what they call it? Xing?
I don't know. I hope not.
Well, they can't be tweeting anymore, right? Posting? Just posting.
Did you see Grok?
What's Grok?
They made like an AI tool.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean? It's called Grok?
All right. See y'all next week.